PBA Senior Championship, our semifinal match. Jim Long taking on Gary Dickinson. Jim Long seems focused and really into this whole championship, Earl.
He does, and again, here we have Dickinson had the opportunity to pick the finishing lane or the starting lane, whichever one, however you want to say it, and he decided he wants to start on 24 and finish on lane 23. And again, I think lane 23 is by far the more difficult of the two lanes. So I think it's a matter of nerves again. I think the players are determining they'd like to get done first, which Gary Dickinson will now. He'll bowl his 9th and 10th, and that'll leave up to Jim Long to finish the match out. And if Dickinson can have him in a position where he needs a double, maybe that's what he's looking for. So first look at Gary Dickinson today, current Senior Player of the Year.
Leaves the 2-5. You were remarking, as we were just chatting with ourselves, that Gary was laughing with the crowd and smiling and everything, and you thought that maybe he was too relaxed and not focused enough.
Well, I think it's not a matter of him being too relaxed. I think it's a matter of Gary working too hard to be relaxed. I think that's a sign of nerves, and Gary doesn't really get his game set, get it going, you know, get his game face on. He's a wonderful guy, a great and real nice guy, but the problem is, and here's another look at Gary, we're going to get a look at Gary's style here. And as he gets going here, this is one of the classic styles in bowling, but what he does right there, see how his shoulder opens up, and then when he gets going on through the shot, he has to square it back up again at the foul line. That's difficult to do. Your timing has to be perfect. Your speed to the foul line has to be perfect with your feet, with your footwork. And if he doesn't square it up again, then he can lose the ball right or left.
He's done it for 25 years, though.
He's done it for 25 years, and if you do something obviously long enough the same way, you're going to be able to repeat it. But it's just one thing in his game he doesn't need, and just makes it that much more difficult.
I can remember the first time I saw him at Meadowbrook Lanes in Fort Worth, Texas.
He looks the same now as he did then.
He sure does.
And here's another look at Jim Long, and look at the square his shoulders are comparatively.
Well, he keeps pouring in the strikes. You know, we asked him earlier what it would mean to win this championship. This is what he had to say.
Oh, that's what everybody dreams of, is to, at least on the senior tour, is to have the Senior Players Championship. That's one of our major tournaments.
Sure, nice-looking guy, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see his eyes light up as he even fantasized about that.
Well, it may not be a fantasy at this point, the way he's going. Well, he got a break there, leaving the 3-6-10 right through the middle of the head pin. And again, his opening shot was Brooklyn there, crossed over on that lane, and this time he's in the middle of the head pin. He isn't opening up the lane as he did in that string of strikes he got when he bowled Hanegard the last match. He was opening up the lane or giving the ball more room, letting it roll back. Now he looks like he's trying to throw it harder and straighter, and I don't understand that. Maybe the lane has changed for him. Tough spare, cross lane, switches to a hard shell ball that won't hook. Try to go right at it.
Has it. Tough spare, but he got it. You know, it just seems to me like he needs to move in on that left lane, but maybe there's no more oil left.
Yeah, I don't think the players can move in. From talking to them about the lane condition and watching them bowl, throughout the week they've had problems moving left. So what they generally had to do is stay where they're at and either increase the speed or go to something. In your tip, you mentioned spinning the ball a little bit or rolling it more forward. And I think that's been the answer for most of the players. They have to change their release or change the bowling ball they're using, that kind of thing, Mike.
Well, Dickinson has gotten himself ahead in this match as he's doubled on the right lane. Got his game face on now. It just took him a frame to do it.
Yeah. It's this is more like the Gary Dickinson we see in match play. More determined. Steady head. Great balance at the foul line.
And great result at the pins. Well, Long knows that he's going to be in for a battle. He's going to have to do something on that left lane. Of course, he needs to set himself up for it by continuing to hit the right lane. Another Brooklyn, but this time doesn't carry, leaves the 6-pin. Suppose the turkey that he's staring at is affecting the way he's throwing the ball?
Well, it's possible, but to me, I'm watching him, and I've watched his game, and I've watched his arm swing, and it looks like he's getting it out to the right a little bit. When the ball gets away from you a little bit to the right, it's going to go. The ball's going to go left. So if it's to your right in the backswing, the ball will go left on the lane.
6 pin has it. Don't forget to join us tonight at 11 o'clock for Sports Center as Gary Miller and Dan Patrick will be joining you talking about the NHL labor talks and Cleveland's Larry Nance retiring. Also have NFL news. What do you do different?
Well, it looked to me like he got the ball out in the lane a little farther with a little more ball speed. He just didn't set it down. He actually stood up at the foul line. Watch him. He's going to be standing a little taller at the foul line at the release point. He'll come up there. See how he came up on that one? That's not his normal release. He kind of juiced the ball, got it down the lane, got it a little more out in the air. Keeps it from hooking.
Those adjustments that the players make all the time.
Doesn't he make it look easy? He's so talented. It's just a fantastic talent, Gary Dickinson, and that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, because he's been doing exactly that for 20-some years as a professional bowler. Maybe even longer. I don't know how long Gary's been bowling, but he's sure been tough from the opening day to right now.
And in the background, we can see some of the fans still holding up their little cards for Dickinson and Long. And, of course, when Knipple comes over to bowl the championship game. Trying for 5 in a row. Oh, the solid 7. He had that one written up, Earl.
Well, I think when Gary released that ball, all he was thinking was carry the 10-pin, carry the 10-pin. And when it was gone, he thought he had the strike. You could see by his reaction he was sure it was a strike. And then the 7-pin was standing there like it grew out of the floor. Solid 7.
With a conversion, he'll lead by 23 pins. Nice lead, but not comfortable yet.
Not when you know that Jim Long shot 240 here just the last game.
Well, Dickinson is converted to 7-pin. We're halfway through our semifinal match. Dickinson leads by 23, but Long is working on a strike. We'll be right back after these messages.